Hi, Gemini. This will be for Gemini Sun, Moon, and specifically risings as we move into January 2026 with the full moon on January 3rd. Gemini, this full moon will be falling into your second house of personal finances and income, but Capricorn season for you shines in your eighth house of intimacy, death, and rebirth. So, for this Gemini, this full moon will be shining in more of your personal possessions and finances. So, let's see what this brings up for you in your reading. Okay, Gemini. So, first thing I want to point out is that your power card of the Magician. This is a Mercurial power card. It's ruled by you and also Virgo, since you guys are the Mercurials, but it's always mostly associated with you, Gemini. It's one of your power cards in the deck. You have multiple as multiple personalities you have multiple cards in the deck. So, but the reason that I brought that out and wanted to talk about it first is because it came out in a sideways position and I try to read the cards exactly how they come out. Usually when the cards come out in a sideways position, it comes out as a challenge or something that is challenging. So maybe there's something um, blocking you from your creative inspiration or not allowing you to manifest in a way that you would like. But we will definitely clarify once we get to that point, Gemini. But just want to point out that there may be something challenging in regards to you pulling in your own power, standing in your own power, or being able to use your power to push you forward into a new beginning and a new life. First things first that we have that came out for you though, Gemini, is the card of cancel, console of light, council, council of light. So it's like a console. I can't say it. You Council, a console, like a we together. It's kind of one of those. My goodness. But at the bottom of the deck it says divine orchestrations or divine orchestration helpers in the subtle realm. So there's literally I interpret that as helpers in the spirit realm or just, you know, spirit working in mysterious ways, working in the background, things happening in the unknown and the unseen. And there seems to be, it seems like they're having a console meeting in regards to that. But in any way, there is just, it seems like there's, it seems like you have a lot of spirit and guides around you that are doing things on the other side. I can't get for the life of me a clear message right now. So maybe there's like a lot of mumble. There's a lot of mumbling in your head and you just can't get a clear message um in regards to that. So maybe there's like a disconnect on connecting with your guides in some way, or they got a meeting and they kicked you out and they're like we'll come back and grab you when we need to speak to you, but for right now instead in the hallway we're gonna have our little council meeting right here. um and then this other energy that popped up is this card says gratitude rampage is already happening but it's in the reverse. So I don't think that doesn't mean any less of it not happening. It wouldn't have popped out if things weren't happening. But the whole point of this card is being in a more grateful state, being in a more grateful mindset. This card, when I read through the guidebook, it actually encourages you to start a gratitude journal or just journal about all the things that you're grateful for and just letting it sing to you. I'm saying sing because it has music notes here around it. But all in all, it's about just acknowledging what you're grateful for, acknowledging and being just more thankful and stuff like that. It says gratitude rampage. So just being so thankful for like even things that you may be taking advantage of during the time, is giving Thanksgiving vibes. Um, but just kind of like taking into consideration of all things that you may be taking advantage of right now and just like showing extra gratitude to the fact that, it's already happening. It's already going for you. You already got it. And with that being said, the magician in tarot has every element he possibly needs to create a new reality. He quite literally has a magic wand and the power of his thoughts and intellect, which is very mercurial in nature. He has those abilities and the physical elemental tools he needs to create his reality. When is in this challenging position, it's almost saying that you can't is it's not that you can't do it or not that you won't do it. It's Let's clarify on what the challenge actually is. So first things first, we're going to see what the console of light here, what their message is. They had their little console meeting, but I'm going to go interrupt and go interpret it for you. Okay, Gemini. So possibly there is something that fizzled out as fast as it came in or just didn't progress as fast as the momentum was taking it. Um, and it possibly has to do in regards to self-sufficiency, self-confidence, and being able to maintain independent independence in general. But in regards to independent wealth or just being able to spend your time more independently or focus on yourself more independently, put more effort in your own I wanted to say character development. There's something about um there's something about definitely taking it slower. Didn't want to do this, but oh, look at you, the magician again. But here is fully in the reverse. And the Ten of Wands is here. I remember the Ten of Wands being in your last reading, um, Gemini, but it's in the reverse position, which kind of points to releasing things that um, being able to release things that burden you. So no longer allowing things to burden you as much as they did, or whatever the case is. And I can definitely see that as now it seems that you're focusing more on self sufficiency again. So, what is it with this gratitude rampage? It's already happening, but it's in the reverse. There seems to be a lack of reciprocity. Either you're not giving or receiving the proper amount of effort, dedication, and time to something, and it's making it seem more like you're less grateful for things than you truly are. Um, like it's going more on the selfish side, I guess, because it's like this is already happening, you're already sitting in it. You should be grateful, you should have all these things, but there's like some sense of lack here or a feeling of lack here. either way, there just it seems to be an an unbalanced amount of effort, or I wanted to say discipline for some reason, efforts or reciprocity here. And so with that, it is kind of showing that does if I can go into this astrologically, the second house is it talks about personal income and possessions and things like that, but it talks about um values. It talks about, yeah, what it is you value, your personal values, your personal assets, and building personal boundaries as well. Um so yeah, there's like there's definitely a disconnect here when it comes to your receptivity. You're it's like very hard for you to receive things, um and that goes for spiritually and physically right now. It seems very overwhelming to you to receive, to be receptive of things, or to even give. Yeah, this energy is coming back up again for you, Gemini. I saw this in your past, present, and future energy where it seemed like there may have been an imbalance on giving and receiving in love. This has less to do about emotions and more on a physical manner, especially this being in your second house of possessions and assets. So it all plays a role, that the giving, being um being giving and receptive of energy in general plays out in all elements and all aspects: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. There has to be some type of balance and flow. So let's keep it going. Why are we in this challenging position, Gemini, with the magician? There's confusion. There's confusion here on what to actually focus on. It seems like you have your eggs in too many baskets, Gemini, and it's difficult on figuring out what actually which basket in this case is a cup. Which cup do you actually want to pour into? Seven of Cups. Cups is about emotions. Cups is about experiences. Cups is about memories. Cups is about relationships. Seven of them, though, is very confusing and chaotic. And there just needs to be a little bit more discernment on what exactly you are wanting to grow here, Gemini. There needs to be a little bit more. Yeah, we need to. Seven of Cups can be about distractions and things like that because it's very elusive. It's very confusing. There's just too much going on at the same time, and it can spread your energy and your emotions very thin. And so I can see why you're confused here on what exact type of new beginning you want to start here, Gemini, because the magician quite literally can just open up a portal, step into a new reality. That's what all those tools are for. And that's why he is connected to his intellect and logic so deeply, because you need all of those things combined to form your new magical beginning. But I can see where this can be confusing for you, Gemini, or where you feel like you have a blockage or just don't know which direction to go because you have your energies pointing in too many directions. That's very Gemini in nature, but it doesn't have to be your default, Gemini. So I just want to point out here there are new opportunities that it seems that you're going towards. It seems exciting, it seems new for you, new beginnings, new environments, um, possibly new positionings, new positions. If this is in regards to finances or career, there's also, if I may talk astrologically, this being Capricorn season, eighth house energy for you. Eighth house is, is ruled by Scorpio, so it's in the depths of emotional intimacy and death and rebirth and all the things that are Scorpio in nature. So this, I also just want to point out in the second house is about personal finances and assets, but in the eighth house is about shared resources. So things that you share with people and with others. In this case, it's with people that you're very close and intimate with. So think about things as what do you share, what do you possess as a resource and that you share with other people. Sometimes the seventh house is about marriage, so going to the eighth house, when you join, when you unionize and you join and merge together, because that's what eighth house is about merging two things together. It's about sex, it's about intimacy, it's about all those things. So this is about you sharing something. What are you sharing with us? Or what is being shared with you? Um, there's also this card that says animal energy, says channel here. So possibly there's some animal spirits around you, or you need to connect with some animals to channel some type of message for you. And then this card here says your guidance is divinely guided. Your guidance is divinely guided. So maybe there's something you need to share within your journey, some type of guidance, the direction that you want to move towards. You are divinely guided in that. I want you to understand that completely, Gemini. Last but not least, funny enough, this is kind of your card because Gemini rules over the third house, really, the third house of communication. But this is about second house and eighth house for you, Gemini. But this card, communicate, is at the bottom of the deck. I am just going to shuffle real quick to get some quick insights. Again, if this is resonating for you or you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact me at Libra Baby Doll. Let's get into it. Okay, we have here it says you will be traveling soon. It could be a vacation or even a vacation. So that's fun. And then we also have here Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. So there we go. There we go. All right, Gemini. I hope that landed well for you. Again, if you had any questions or you want to go in deeper, Libra Baby Doll, I'm here.